I think it's sometimes better that's got no real estate experience because they're learning the right way. You know, when I got into the business, I'd never bought courses, I'd never read a book. I went full into coaching.
Kevin's never read a book, ever.
You know what I mean? Ever.
Ever.
And so I guess that because if you take us or people that are doing deals in the single family and the multifamily, we've got bad habits for what you're teaching, right? So it's actually harder to break us because we want to go back to our comfort and just go. You know, let's lock this thing up. Let's get it done.
And I think, Gavin, if it sounds like for that person that they might have the base qualities, but where I have to spend my time with that person is they're like, what's an ARV again? How do I run comps? What's the and so each person has and I try to fill in the other side of whatever they are, whether they're the crock pot or the base. I try to be that other thing for them. I can fill in either one. You know, it just depends on who I try to meet them at their level.
I feel like I have both crockpot and vase. I mean, I started with pre-foreclosure door knocking, so I had to have empathy in the conversation, but I always knew when to go in for the kill and ask for the close.
Yeah, that makes us rare, Don.
Yeah. So, but I think it was a product where I started too, because I started with pre-foreclosure, I started with distress. I had to have the empathy right out of the gate. I think for people who come into this industry and they don't have to have that empathy, the same level of empathy, you have to deal with somebody that's in distress, and you've built your foundation as a real estate investor. I think you're missing. It's harder at that point, I think, to acquire that quality because you've had so much success without it. If that makes sense. So it's a product of your personality. I think it's also a product of your entry into this industry as well. So a crockpot with no experience may be able to gain empathy going into this, understanding that this is the first conversations they're having, their first touch of real estate investing. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't make sense at all. Maybe it's just a personality trait, but I think something about your first experiences have something to do with it as well.
Sure.
Matt's got a great question. What type of condition are most of the houses in?
Number 3, and my reasons why these are the best leads, these houses, even if they're clean, they're grandma clean. What does that mean? It's, a house built in 1958 in St. Louis might have got a new kitchen in the year 1990, but it still needs another new kitchen, right? And so,
right.
It's just dated, right? And so even if they're clean, they're usually full of stuff. That's a big problem. They're always out of date. And so it's a house that I can add value to. I just bought a house in St. Charles this week. It's the perfect house, the mid-century ranch that's clean, and you can tell they cared about it. They've owned it since new. They paid $12,000 for this house.
That's unreal.
It's unreal. And I love the time capsule houses.
When did they buy it? Like in the 50s or 60s?
Yeah, late 50s is when it was built. Wow. That's when they bought it. And they've lived there the whole time. And so, that's the perfect kind of house. Some people might walk in and go, I would never live here, but I mean, it's a clean house, but it was dated, right? It still had the paneling in the wrong places. It still had the carpet in the wrong places, and so those are, for you and us investors, it's a 2-week flip and we're back on the market. It's an easy house.